Hello from the bus. I have my beautiful banana with magnesium and some Celtic salt. I actually watched a really horrible video before on third world countries and their malnutrition, the way that their society just kind of ignores children in the street. So I shared that on my Facebook, and I'm feeling guilty for eating because I have so many blemishes because you've been fed so well organic food, and my skin's just detoxing. I have been watching an Abraham Hicks video, and it's very thought-provoking. It's the audio book, the 8-hour one. I can't think of what it's called now. And it really has just given me some clarity. It's resonating with me on such a deep level that it's just reassured me that, my heartfelt and intuition responses are usually quite true. And so the verse that I heard was that you are on this planet not to heal it for its darkness and its pain and suffering. You're here to express your own creativity. The reason being is that we all have our own innate gifts, and we're all here to contribute something specific. And, there's contrast that you need to balance between them, which is what it says. Like, we're here to understand the differences, and to allow the contrast to be balanced, because you're not going to have a handful of great things that you love doing and you're great at, and then just keep going about life without any struggle or any battle internally, because you get good at these things, or you have these things accessible to you so easily, and then you get bored and you're not creatively inspired. So it's about finding the balance, but seeing the differences between, what makes you uncomfortable, what makes things happen, what makes the things around us, not of our best, in our best world, of our own world, because it is a selfish world, but it's not. I don't see it selfishly, because we are all infinite beings and we are all attached to each other and we're all connected, but we all have our own world, our own physical world that we are living in. So I'm also reading a book on meditation, and it's basically saying, one of these guys was saying, he used to he'd act aggressively or angry or frustratedness because he didn't know how to respond, and then he would respond or react quite quickly, and then that's where the emotion would come from. He wouldn't seek internally within enough before response. And so I understand why, I'm going to say a couple of names here, but I understand why light workers kind of push, and just like the vegan movement, they push, what they're feeling because it's so intense and it's so great, externally outwards, and trying to not force other people, but it's just like, it's the label around it, and the forcefulness is what we don't want, because everyone's living their own life in their own world. But if we can live harmoniously, then that would be great. But basically, I think that I like the philosophy behind it. I like that everyone's going towards their ascension, and to ignore conflict that's behind you, because what's that going to do to your world but bring it into you, basically law of attraction. And then the opposing, where it's the darkness, is just pretty much seeking within. I feel like the lightness is, your external projection, and then the darkness is seeking within, which is where we tend to avoid. And so you're not going to get to your ascension unless you've reached, your internal infinite self, and what your understanding of how you react to things, and how you are, and what your soul path is. So again, there's contrast to both, but I don't believe that you should be sitting in both all of the time. And I know, because I've been in the darkness for so long, and then once something happened to me, I came out and I felt light. I felt the light. I felt lifted. I felt like I'd been drawing in all of this goodness to me. So I don't want to make this video too long, because I know everyone's attention span's pretty short. And this pimple is terrible. But yeah, it's just, it makes so much sense, and I'm so glad that it's happening to me now. I'm starting to sort of ask myself questions, because I'm sick of repeating patterns. And, meditation, along with seeking the light, seeking the eternal love, everything that we are as beings and as souls, is important. And if we're focusing our time on the negativity of what we don't have, you know, again, the law of attraction, and what we, you know, what we're seeing externally, that's not part of our life. So it doesn't have to affect us on that level, but it doesn't mean we can't do anything about it. It's just making that peace within you to then be able to be the best person you can be for others. So that's my quote. That's my take. That's everything that, you know, I've been sort of trying to understand, and it's conflicting me with others too, because, you know, two different versions of people that I come across all the time, and it's just like, all right, keeping my mouth shut, but this makes so much sense. So that's all. Thanks. Bye.